Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and today we're looking at the 7 deadly sins and Merlin kicks some ass. So before getting into that, the new branding of my channel will have to wait, considering I tried using it using Photoshop for the first time yesterday to not much success because I've never used it before. I've always had the software, I just haven't used it. I initially got it thinking I'd use it for the channel, and I wanted to start using it now, and I realized I have no idea how to use it. So the rebranding will be delayed to a certain extent. So when I get my head around Photoshop, I will start looking to do more of that. Anyway, so today I'm at work, but with it being the Eid festival, I have it off. So for those that are celebrating Eid today, Eid Mubarak, have a lovely day. But without further ado, let's get into the review. So, point number 1. Immediately, Grey Road and Froudin realise the threat that Merlin possesses, even stating that she is dangerous. And the way that they want to deal with her is by casting a spell called the Five Lost, I should say. Which essentially is there to make you lose your 5 senses, which makes it easier to deal with an individual, I guess. At this point, Hauser wants to be the shield to protect Merlin, I guess. And from his point of view, he wants to just be helpful. To be fair, she didn't really need the help. She even said she goes, "Oh, I wanted to see what this was going to do." And basically, she undoes the spell. Now, there was a funny scene at the end of that, because as he gets tapped with a finger, so Merlin just taps him with a finger on his forehead. He, in surprise, the shock makes him stand up, and he chins Hendrickson, and you see like there's like an X on Hendrickson's chin where he got hit. That was funny, although it was just nicely placed in there. I like that comedy in this chapter. But yeah, that's point number 1. Merlin's a boss, and she knows what she's doing. So Grey Road, realizing that this has been undone, tries another attack, and in the translation it said breakable bugs, but it actually has a note saying that it actually means 5-star soul swarm. I think that's probably more the direct translation for the wording. And he tries to hit Merlin with that. She basically throws an extermination ray, blows them apart, blows one of the faces off Grey Road, to which Ban calls her an idiot because, of thou shalt not kill, she would lose her time, but it has no effect on her. And basically, it was funny, but when Ban says that to Merlin, and Merlin like, "Who did you just call an idiot, Ban?" And she explains the idea of her power. She goes, "Look, her sin, or her idea of the sin that she is gluttony, and it was her thirst for knowledge, the insatiable thirst for knowledge, that she realized she didn't have enough time in her life to do that. So if she found a way to stop time, she would basically be able to do that. And her ability was that she created was called infinity. So essentially, anything she casts, as long as she doesn't uncast it, can stay for eternity, whether it's flames or ice or anything." I was just thinking to myself, dude, if she was a 10 commandment, she would be scary as hell, right? And I just feel that I'm good and glad that she's on our side, because that power is OP as hell. To think that basically she can make things go forever, essentially. So this is again showing that she's got the power of infinity. So the idea is because she can stop her own time, she's not affected by the curse until the person who owns the curse dies, I guess. That's point number 2. So point number 3, how the hell did she break out of the curse that Galan put her under? So if you remember way back when, she got turned to stone, she got petrified, and everyone's wondering. I think the question's asked from their point of view, but it's kind of like our point of view, like the reader, because we're wondering as well how it's possible. Now this is cool because it adds a little more layers and depth to Merlin as a character. We hear of her history a little bit. So she goes, it took a little bit longer to undo this curse, but then she realized that these things don't really work on her. And she basically says, "Oh, this might seem familiar to you, but I am Belial's daughter, or Belial's or Belialin's daughter. Yeah, I think it might have been actually. To which they're like, we don't believe you. Just because you say we don't believe you. And then she says her name in demon by the sounds of it. Because they're like, oh, it must be you. How are you the survivor? Blah, 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 blah. So they refer to her as that survivor. I'm going to speculate in point number 5 about this anyway. There's a few different things I need to talk about. But they refer to because how we can't believe you're that survivor. And basically she goes, yes I am, blah 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 blah. I'm the beast, I'm the man, woman, it. And they're scared now. They are scared of who she is, because being Belialin's daughter is something important to them. It's shocking, it's scaring to them. The potential. So Belialin must have been a dangerous motherfucker. Sorry about the language. Dangerous individual, or a dangerous lady maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure. But they are scared of her. So, point number 4. Point number 4. Craziness. Grey Road actually is scared. He runs when she goes, okay, time to wrap this up. She goes after him. He tries splitting apart because, you know, Grey Road's like loads of heads, right? And she does a technique called endless world, infinite, endless, you know, they're going to be playing on words there. And she captures him in a little bottle, but she wrecks the castle as well. And Frauden's like, Grey Road! Like, you know, dramatic that you get in like the old school movies. No! It's one of those scenes. Now Frauden's on his own. What's Frauden going to be able to do by himself? We'll find out what the curse of the selflessness is now. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, it's a funny way to end it because of what I saw rather than, you know, the drama. But we know of a few things. When we looked at the breakdown of power, we knew that Merlin's abilities was heavily in the magic section rather than like the strength. So we know that that's where she's at. So magically she's going to be on another level. I just find it strange that when you look at the power levels, combat power, chi levels, key levels, whatever you want to call it, right? It's strange that like she's probably got about 3,000 or 4,000 combat power or levels, right? And she's taken out people like the 25,000s and stuff like that. It makes me believe there's something more to that, and that level checking isn't really a true reflection. Like we saw that Meliodas at one point was a 3,000, then it became 32,000, but then he was like wrecking Derriere, sorry, and she's meant to be like 50 or 60,000. So it's like, what's going on there? We'd like to know. So obviously he's come back stronger and things like that, but you know, we need to know the end result, because these characters continue to get stronger, whether it's Merlin, whether it's going to be Ban, King, you know, Diana, all the 7 deadly sins are going to get stronger. Same thing with the commandments, but yeah, we need to know what's going on with that. Anyway, moving on to point number 5, speculation time. So point number 5, the different things that I want to speculate and talk about. So I've got some notes over here, because I know you see me sometimes glancing, but it's mainly for names of spells and whatnot, and checking if I've got a message on my phone. But anyway, so the things I want to talk about, I mean, the first one thing I wanted to talk about was the makeup of the 7 deadly sins and the commandments. Some of them are very similar in the sense of that they cover a lot of the races or the different beings that live in that kind of world. So for example, we've got giants with Diana and Dolo being the original kind of main leader, you know, king with the fairy people, and then you have Goloshinho, who's the first fairy king type of thing. Then you got the demons with Meliodas and Gautha, potentially Merlin, and then you got Zeldris and Esteros, and then, you know, humans are Ban and Escanor, and probably some of these 10 commandments were probably humans at some point. Anyway, so it's interesting how they've got all the different ones but goddesses. Now the only difference is the 7 deadly sins have now got Elizabeth as a goddess's assistant. We need to look into that to find out more. We haven't really been explained anything. Now, what's interesting to know about Merlin is that she says something about Belialin's daughter. Now Belialin, you can't find anything on Google of, so it's a variation of a name. The closest name you can find to is Belial. Belial is the other name for Satan or the devil. Mainly the devil, because there's different things for Satan, I guess. Because Satan can actually come under one of the 7 sins, and his idea is he's wrath. So it's a different name for a devil or a demon. Anyway, so Belial is known as the main demon, I guess, or Baal, I guess. Which funny enough means hair in some languages. But anyway, I digress. So there is a chance, and this is what theory I want to talk about Merlin in this speculation part of the video, which will be a little bit longer, but bear with. I was thinking, what if Belial was the main demon in hell for demons, and the demon king is just the current king or the previous king, and he may have been defeated and put in the middle verse. I can't remember. Purgatory, right? So he was defeated and put there, and they thought Meliodas was going to become the next demon king because of how strong he was. Now, who defeated the demon king in the first place? Was it Meliodas? Because they never mentioned it, even though Meliodas went to speak to his supposed father. What if the demon king and Belial were like brothers, or they were family, and it turns out that also Merlin is some type of demon or has demon blood, potentially? It doesn't answer the fact that she did say that, you know, a human's life is quite fleeting and short. Maybe she's like a half breed or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's interesting because we don't really know for sure what she's like. Because if you think about it, Balin's human, right? Balin's human with the curse of immortality based on fairy magic. We don't know what Escanor's curse was. We just know that he goes super hyped when the sun comes out. He's like the ultimate jock. You know, take him to the seaside in the middle of summer and he's the buffest dude there. You know, he's Mr. Olympia. But you know what I mean? He's got a curse of some kind. I know they said he was from a noble family and he had this issue in it. I think he killed somebody. But you know, for the most part, we think of them as humans. We don't really know what the situation with Merlin is, and that's what I like. Gauthar didn't know, but now we know he's one of the 10 Commandments, and so he's demon, and so we know also with Meliodas. So I like the idea that there's that breakdown of the different species or different races. I like things more clarified as well, purely around those, because we are only just getting Merlin's history. Bearing in mind, Meliodas and Merlin have known each other the longest, so she could be really old, because she stopped time, and she could easily be as old as the demons if she isn't a demon. Now, what happens next? There's a lot of questions I have about this battle, because from a story point of view, there's apparently going to be 3 major arcs, and we're in the second major arc now. And the first major arc lasted about 100 odd chapters, give or take a chapter or two. And then we're in the second one, we're close to 200, like 9 chapters off. So is this going to be wrapping up the actual the next 9-10 chapters? I don't know, because you've got to look at what's going on with the 10 Commandments. Now, bearing in mind, this is, as of now, as we know, things can change. So, let's kind of go through it. So, Meliscula, dead, apparently. But according to Wikia, only 5 of the 7 hearts were taken out. What's happened with the other 2, we don't know. So, we assume she's dead. According to the Wikia, she's dead. Greyrod has been captured in this chapter by Merlin. Not dead yet. If Merlin undoes that spell, she's dead. Anyway, so there's it. Galan is basically petrified or stoned. Stoned as in turning into stone. Not stoned as in he got high. No, we don't do that. And then there's the rest of them. So there's Derriere, Monspier, Zeldris and Esteros are presumably dead by the attacks dealt with from Escanor and Meliodas. So they're taken out of the equation. They're out of commission for the time being. They might be in purgatory. They may also just be really badly hurt that we can't sense them. That leaves 3. Fraudrin, which is probably shitting his kicks right now, scared right now, of what happened to Greyrod. Dolor and Gloshina. Dolor and Gloshina, I think King and Diana should deal with, I'm just saying. But I found that interesting, that they're the only ones that are left. It's kind of weird that this is how it's ended, considering, you know, how big of a threat the 10 Commandments are. But being that all 7 of the 7 deadly sins are alive and kicking again, this is meant to signify the end for the big bad, the 10 Commandments. But yeah, that is a few things to discuss. My 5-point review. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Hope you enjoyed the view. It's been a long one. Thank you for your patience. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Especially comment in the section below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.